That's amazing. View on YouTube. Y'all like the little face? I like the little face right there. God, man. Like I almost look completely different. Like my body wise from working out and eating right, man. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's weird. It's weird seeing myself. Like you say you want to do something and then you do it and then you can see the changes. Like, how y'all doing? What's up, Amanda? Lee, Overthoughts, Lisa, Pansy, Queen, Too Much, Mom. First one here says, yay, me. How you guys doing this afternoon, man? So blue is my color. I was about to grab my headphones I always use. I'm like, hold on, I got the blue on. Let me put my blue Astros on, my blue Astro 40s on. Look, y'all, look, my ring is falling off. I've lost so much weight. Like it will not stay on. It just comes right off. That's crazy. So y'all can see me catching this tonight. How's everybody doing, man? Peace and blessings. What's up, Ken Porter? I got your message. Boo boo. Thank you, man. Thank you. Instead of just grilled chicken, I have now added grilled fish into the diet. So I got some new changes, but it's good. I've settled in. I settled in until this is my normal life now. You know, like I don't want to ever go back. It's not something I'm doing temporary. This is my new life. Uh, I almost feel like I did 5 years ago when I lost 65 pounds. The only thing, if I'm honest, for me to feel like I did back then, I do need to work out more. I will never cheat on my diet, but sometimes I don't go to the gym. And this new week right here, starting off, I'm like, yo, Saturday will not come without me going to the gym at least 4 times this week. And I know what that's gonna do in a week if this is how it is. Now I don't even have a stomach. My stomach used to protrude out right here. You could see it protrude out now. Now I'm getting a little peck too. I'm getting a peck. The nerd John Crimes is getting pecks. Wow, man. What's up, Rosaline? My girl Susan. Coco. I just changed my life, man. I just changed my life. It was just like I got tired of making excuses and was just like, all right, give me a reason why you can't start now. And then I just started and stuff and kept with it. That's all I did. That's all I did. So I don't crave any snacks at night. My children just left today, so I'm happy. I'm not happy my children are gone. I am happy to get all of these snacks and stuff out my face, put them back up, put everything back up out of my way so I ain't got to see it. And that's been it, man. I always hold true to this channel. I want to go live on this channel every single day, but I won't go live on this channel unless it's something that I'm passionate about. And I stopped it like 5 minutes when the judge was giving Jussie Smollett that work. If you know, I was one of the first people to speak out on Jussie Smollett lying, but by putting him in my documentary, it is the opening to my Heart Kids documentary where I'm watching this dude tell a crazy lie. And like sometimes topics can overshadow how serious false allegations are. Because this guy's famous, a lot of the times we have turned this case on Jussie Smollett into like this actor and, like jokes and everything. But To me, this case is about the people who you can't see, and that's the people who he harmed by saying this lie. So just want to go live, and I want to y'all sit here, listen to me as Jussie Smollett was found guilty and he got his sentencing, and see exactly what this judge did after doing lazy keto for a while. I'll use I'll use keto. I wouldn't say cheat, but I'll use keto to I'm so close to keto is like the only thing I don't do is fats. But like keto is like zero carbs, zero sugar. I have zero carbs, zero sugar. So if I really crave something, I'll eat cheese and broccoli. I put cheese on top of it. So to me, cheese and broccoli is my version of cheating on my diet. But at the same time, the fact that I don't have carbs, I don't have sugar, once I put that cheese on my broccoli, I just know I put my body into ketosis. So that just helps you out, help you burn, weight off. So my version of cheating on my diet is actually helping me. So did I know from jump he was lying? Jussie Smollett comes out and says some guys attack him. I didn't think I heard about it until like things weren't adding up. So I didn't give a chance to just use how intelligent are you? Did you know that he was lying at first? I didn't catch it at first. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else. When I caught it, it was like, yo, it was already evidence and stuff out that this guy's lying and everything. But are you asking me if a black person comes out and says like racist white people beat him up, they had on MAGA hat? No, I wouldn't think that a person is lying. I would be like I always am. I'm very consistent. I would be like, let's wait for more evidence and see what happens. So that's how I would have been if I would have caught it at the beginning. If you're asking me more details into what happened with him, like he's going out to get Subway like 2 something in the morning in Chicago, it's freezing cold, snowing at night, and then in plain big Chicago, they put a noose around his neck. I don't even know because as far fetched as that sound, like this is the problem. Your question is the problem with what Jussie Smollett did. Is like he made it harder to believe people, you know? Talking keto, been on it for over 2 years. That's what's up. What's up, Kay's Beauty Struggle? Congrats to you for being on keto for 2 years. I'll add peanut butter inside of a smoothie. I just don't do it every day. Like I didn't have that much fruit or anything to put inside a smoothie. I had put a lot of kale, a lot of greens, and I knew it was going to taste funny. So to make it really good, I put a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables in the smoothie. To drown out the taste, I put bananas, and then I put peanut butter in it. So I saw the first interview and thought he was lying. The second one, y'all tell me, is this the first one? Let me go to my Heart Kids documentary. Thank you, Kenyatta Porter, man. I'm gonna holler at you after this right here. Appreciate the what you did to Cash App. Um, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna shock you. I'm gonna talk to you when I get off of this live. Let's see the Heart Kids documentary. Let's see what happens if I type in the Heart Kids documentary. Let's see what mine pull up. Boom! If you type the Heart Kids documentary, mine is the first one that pulls up. And I didn't even know it has now gone up to 90K, 90,000 views. So it continues to get views. The last time I checked this was probably a couple months ago, and it was at 80,000 views. So people are still watching this. So this will probably be my next video that goes to 100,000. This will be my next video that'll go to 100,000 views. So thank you all who continue to support the documentaries that I put out. It means the world to me because I've said this story before. So you've heard it if you've been following me. I said that when the day I put out the Heart Kids documentary, I felt bad. I felt down, and Stephanie Harlow was like, "This is so great." I thought she was just being nice because we friends, and I just felt like I was like, "I hope I did a good enough job." I was really nervous about it, and I think it had like 8,000 views for the longest, and then it just kept consistently getting people to watch. I would go to Amazon and look up documentaries on them, and then you could in the comment section on Amazon, People will be saying there's a guy on YouTube named John Crimes who did a documentary. You guys should go check that out. That's free. And I was like, wow, like people really, really talking about it. So you never know what you put out, and you never know the effect that it could have on people that's watching. After I did the documentary on the Heart Kids, I was in Washington working on um I always want to say Carly because that's who I work with, with the family. But it's a documentary really on her mom, Karen Bodine. And when I was driving up there, I was like, "Yo, didn't the Heart Kids live up here?" And I did the same thing. I'm gonna tell y'all the story I never told y'all. I put the Heart Kids address on Google, and it pulled up, and I was like 10 miles away. So I took a trip up to the house in the documentary on the Heart Kids. I took a picture there and put it up. And what I never told y'all, because I don't like advertising this because of what people have done when they go there. When I drove across the country back to move to Georgia in September, I was in Colorado. And while I was in Colorado, I'm bored, I ain't got nothing to listen to it and stuff. I put in Chris Watts' address, and it was literally, I am not making this up. Chris Watts' address was one exit away. I was like, there's no way I can't go to Chris Watts' house. I'm 1 mile away, John. So I went to Chris Watts' house. Um, it was surreal, you know. I got off at the exit. There's this gas station to the left, and then there's this big field of open space. And if you look across the field to this open space, you see their neighborhood. So there's this light before you go into Chris Watts' neighborhood, this really long red light. Cross the red light, go down about a block and turn left. And I turned left, and I realized I was on that street. Like when you drive straight to that street, you're right there staring at Chris Watts' house. I saw and I pulled up and I parked. Um, it was very surreal. I was looking at the guy, and I got context. Like, it looks farther away when you see it on TV and documentaries. The house with the guy that had the Ring doorbell. It was much closer than I thought, and then that became very scary to me because I was like, when you see how close that house is, and just know, like, okay, that's the house. I'm right in front of Chris Watts' garage. So this is how close that camera was, and he was dragging Shanann's body out. It was a sad day. It wasn't like, oh wow, I'm at Chris Watts' house and all of this stuff. That's why I never put out a picture. I only told my mods or whatever. I didn't want to go advertise it. I've seen people go up to the house, steal things from the house, make a mockery of the house. It was just a surreal moment for me personally to see a case that I had covered on a couple videos, and I left that neighborhood going past the guy house who had the Ring doorbell and turning that corner. Something I didn't see, just so it was a new look, and I remember just feeling sad. I remember feeling sad, and I remember when I got back to that gas station. I looked around the gas station. I'm like, this is the video surveillance footage of the guy in the orange who they thought was Chris Watts, but we found out later that it was not him. I'm like, this is the gas station. I'm at right here. Wow. So, it's crazy, It's just crazy. It made the world smaller, and it made it even less of a salacious case and more realistic that, like, there's a beautiful family lived in this house right here, and they should be here. They should be raising a 6 and a 4-year-old little girl, or maybe 7 and a 5-year-old girl. Now it's been what, 3 years, 4 years now. Almost an 8 and a 6-year-old girl, and that he did all of that and destroyed their lives. So yeah, the home is dark compared to others around it. It's dark figuratively and literally, and you got to see the new neighborhood behind the house, but yeah, I didn't go up on the porch. I didn't go up on the property, period. I didn't do all of that stuff. I didn't trespass or anything. Another thing, though, I remember that day, and I'll get into Jussie Smollett. When I went to Chris Watts' house, I remember is that I was worried the neighbors, all of them were outside. Somebody was going to stop me, like, yo, we tired of you guys in our neighborhood. It made me sad that no one blinked an eye or said anything to me because that made me realize, like, they are used to people coming to this neighborhood. They're used to this being a sideshow attraction. So many people probably come to this house, they don't even care anymore. And then that made me sad. So yeah, but I'm gonna pull up this video and let's get into it and break this down. Mods, get ready. You can see people coming a mile away. All right. All right, let me open up the window and actually, I was going to do this first, right? Hold on. Yeah, I was going to do this first. So this is the Opening to My Heart Kids documentary. And this is the first Jussie Smollett thing that I saw.
That when you hungry at night and you ain't got no food, you go to Subway. The camera facing north. How is that my issue? It feels like if I had said it was a Muslim.
Yeah, let me stop and say one thing right here when I tell you how long it takes to do documentaries, especially now that it's not me, it's just a whole family, whatever. You see this right here? Look at this right here, y'all.
Way. The camera.
This is the camera behind me showing me watching it, right? When I tell you it takes a long time to edit stuff when you're really doing stuff, to line the vocal tracks up from Jussie Smollett through this screen that I'm looking at. And then Jussie Smollett face when it comes up big. Every time it goes back and forth, it's three things. It's Jussie Smollett on the screen. It's my back view watching my computer monitor. And then it's my front view showing my reaction. To line up the vocal tracks on all three, this opening little sequence that takes mere seconds to you all takes hours for me to do, to edit. And that was a long time ago, and that's just me. So the things I've learned about how to edit, to film and stuff now that it's so much better, it takes a really long time, y'all. I promise you
that. Facing north. How is that my issue? It feels like if I had said it was a Muslim or Mexican or someone black, I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot more. And that says a lot about the place that we are in our country.
Okay, now that just opened up something interesting to me, because he changed his lie once he found out like his friends are caught. His lie was that it was white racist people. And then now his lie was like he couldn't really see them and that he didn't know that those were his friends. There was no way he could know that information. But he just said right here, I would have got more support if I would have said the people that attacked me were like black or something like that. Even if you didn't see who they were, you could see that it was a black person. It's not like they had every single thing covered up except for their eyeball. You know, so right here alone, from his new version he just made, this is a wrap, bro. You're pathetic, man.
Country right now. The fact that we have these fear mongers, these people that are trying to separate us, and it's just not okay.
But he sounds so passionate. Jussie Smollett, the Black American gay actor, said at 3 a.m. he was savagely beaten by two racist guys. They tied a noose around his neck at 3 a.m., poured bleach on him. The only problem was, when the guys were arrested, they told the cops they worked with him. He got him a job on set of his show. He orchestrated the entire thing. But listen to this.
I just want young people, young members of the LGBTQ community, young black children to know how strong that they are.
A shame you feel the way to achieve this is through lying, when the truth is far much more heartbreaking.
I may go watch my Heart documentary later tonight, man. I tied that into that documentary because, like, here he is trying to lie, and there are real life examples, you know, to show Black people and Black kids being mistreated where you don't have to say your little stupid lie about Subway. Such is the case with the heart children. Let me go to the judge now. I just wanted to show that intro. All right.
So who is Jussie Smollet? Who are you? And how, out of all people in the world, did you get to be here, sitting in the courtroom in Chicago at a sentencing hearing, convicted of faking, hoaxing, racial and homophobic hate crimes? How in the world did this happen? Well, there are ironies in this case, and the ironies are many and they are profound. And I'm talking about the testimony I heard under oath from Mr. Smollet, corroborated in large part by the pre-sentence investigation. Mr. Smollet chose to take the witness stand, which of course is his right. He took an oath and he got on the witness stand, and the first thing he did was to introduce himself to the jury. He wanted the jury to know who he was, where he came from, what he was about. And I heard it on the witness stand. I heard it corroborated today by the witnesses that came and testified on his behalf. There's no question, Mr. Smollet was born into a mixed race family. His mom is an African-American woman. His dad was a white Jewish man. There were 6 siblings. And if you can say anything about this family, and we're talking about a very, very tight-knit family, a village that was always in sync with each other, that cared about each other, was completely, wholly supportive of each other. You know that this family knew about matters about social justice more than anything else. That's what the family stood for. It is part of the fabric of their existence. I know that Jussie Smollet grew up knowing to be sensitive to matters about racial discrimination, any kind of discrimination, any kind of social injustice. And as a matter of fact, I'm learning more about it as we're going on in the letters I've been receiving and the testimony I've heard today. He's been doing this all his life. He doesn't just talk the talk, he's walking the walk. He's out there, he's advocating, he's involved in the community. He cares deeply about social justice issues. And for you now to sit here, convicted of hoaxing hate crimes, racial hate crimes, and homophobic hate crimes, the hypocrisy is just astounding. I don't know where to begin. I'll remember one thing that will always stick in my mind, and I've been involved in so many trials over the years, but something happened in this trial that it was remarkable, and it talks about your sensitivity to issues of social justice. You're on the witness stand. You're being cross-examined. Your liberty is at stake. It is your criminal trial. Mr. Webb is winding through some things on cross-examination, and he's going through some.
Now people do reaction videos. They be lying. They already saw it. I saw maybe 5 more minutes of this. I'll let you know when I stop seeing, so you see is my real first time reaction. But I mean, I heard this so far. I'll let you know when it gets to the part where I didn't hear.
Social media communications, and whether it was Instagram or chat or text, a little quibbling about that doesn't matter. But Mr. Webb found a line that he wanted to confront you with. He said, "Didn't you say," and he used a word starting with the letter N, "meet me at this place at this time," and I'm paraphrasing. And rather than just answer the question, which what a witness is supposed to do and expected to do in their criminal trial, you stopped the proceedings. You said, "Mr. Webb, out of respect for all the African-American people in this courtroom, you should not be using that word." And I was amazed, but it showed, and I'm not talking about the parrying and the gamesmanship that may go on between a prosecutor and a witness on the stand. That's not why I'm telling this.
So this is just my opinion. It don't matter. He's already sentenced guilty. I can't hurt nobody giving my opinion, right? The reason he stopped to tell the white prosecutor he can't say the N-word in the prosecutor reading what he has to read to him is just for another opportunity. It's the same as and I hope Live Abuse Free breaks this down. It's just the same as Live Abuse Free is a great YouTube channel. I always shout out. It's the same way she says, like, a narcissistic person doesn't know what a normal person would do. So they think they're acting, they're trying to do what they think a normal person would do, but since they aren't, they're going to get it wrong. He thinks that like he has to lie on the shield that he always fights for injustices. So he feels that if he stops and says this to the prosecutor, with the jury looking, this is another opportunity to see that the jury feels how strong he believes in racial injustices and homophobic injustices. But at the same time, Jussie Smollett it may be true he doesn't like the injustices that's going on with minorities, but he cares about himself more than the actual injustices, you know, because if you care about the actual injustices more, you would not lie and cause further harm to what can happen to people in real ring keep falling off real life situations. So he doesn't care enough. Whenever someone lies and their lie is to use the injustices that happen to real actual victims, they're telling you for whatever reason they don't care about what they're actually saying enough. And he's so lost and drenched in it, he's still putting on this act. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to think like a narcissistic, crazy person because I'm not one. It's fascinating to watch. It's very fascinating to watch.
Recalling this event. But what I'm talking about is how sensitive you were to any kind of slight, that anybody, if the wrong words come out of somebody else's mouth, you're going to get up and speak up and complain about it. And make sure that they know that that they're not behaving the way you're supposed to behave. So you know better than anybody else that these are serious matters. They're serious to you. They're clearly serious to you and as your whole family. And for you to be here now, convicted of these hate crimes, it's just astonishing. Faking hate crimes. So why did this happen? That's a good question. I think that's the question on everybody's mind. There's some conjecture you did it for the money. Frankly, I do not believe that you did it for the money. You were making, the evidence showed, close to $2 million a year when this happened. I don't think money motivated you at all. But the only thing I can find is that you really craved the attention and you wanted to get the attention and you were so invested in issues of social justice and you knew that this was a sore spot for everybody in this country. You knew this was a country that was slowly trying to heal past injustices and current injustices and trying to make a better future for each other. And it was a hard road. And you took some scabs off some healing wounds and you ripped them apart for one reason. You wanted to make yourself more famous. And
someone hit my car, right? And I got back from soccer. I saw it when I took my kids to soccer this morning. So they must have hit my car in the parking lot like last night or whatever. Small indent in the back behind my bumper, and you can see red paint. I get out after I drop my kids off from soccer today, and a guy out there, he see me looking at the back of my car. He see me looking around. I'm looking for a red car. It may not be a red car. Maybe they're red brake light or whatever. But I was just looking around to see there's a red car, and I said, "They got me, man. They hit my car." And he said, "You know, there's a camera." He said, I said, "For real?" He said, "Yeah, cameras all around this apartment complex." He said, "Look right there, look right there." I was like, "Wow." He said, "Yeah, so just go and report it to the office and they'll go back through the tapes." He like, "Sure it happened this weekend?" I'm like, "Yes." I parked with my car facing my apartment, the back of it. I would have saw this instantly. So it would have had to happen like last night, right? I bring it up I remember back in 2001 or maybe 2002 after 9/11 and the Patriot Act, you know, and we got all these fears about cameras being everywhere. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You know, I was 29 in 2001. I was 21 years old. 2002, 22 years old. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't tell nobody because everybody was so against the Patriot Act and going into our personal space and stuff. But a part of me was thinking, dude, I'm all down for them having security cameras everywhere because, like, I can't stand it's my word versus somebody else's word. If it's in public, man, record them. Because of big popular cities like Chicago, Atlanta, all that, when you go into the town, there are security cameras everywhere. And then there are cameras in stores. So you can literally track someone's movement. You guys have seen new episodes of like Forensic Files and Investigation Discovery episodes where they can track a car. It went through they got them on through CBS this place. They got them coming out this neighborhood on somebody's Ring doorbell. You can track someone all the way down the same way they caught Jussie Smollett. And I think that that's going to help out a lot. You look at the Green River Killer who went downtown to pick up prostitutes and take them away and kill them. Something like that is going to be really hard to do consistently now for a serial killer. And you can get away with one time, but you're going to be able to track and see people in areas like that. And I think a lot of these crimes that we grew up on, you're probably going to hear about them in rural areas. But if it wasn't for all of these cameras everywhere, Jussie Smollett would have got away with this. And how much damage would it have done had he got away with this? He'd have been like a freaking praise hero who's a lying piece of you know what. I'm used to cussing on my other channel, trying not to do it on this channel, right? But, he would have got away with this if it wasn't for those cameras. So I'm not for that camera stuff in your bathroom, cameras in your personal home, that you didn't put there, but like to put this stuff in public parks. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man.
For a while it worked. Everybody was talking about you. The lights are on you. You were actually throwing a national pity party for yourself. And why would you do such a thing? Why would you? I understand you crave the attention so much, but why would you betray something like social justice issues, which you care so much about? And the only thing I could conclude is, and I acknowledge there are wonderful sides to you. There are very giving and charitable and loving sides to you, but you have another side of you that is profoundly arrogant and selfish and narcissistic. That's the only thing that can be concluded. And that bad side of you came out during the course of all these events. Let me talk about hate crimes for a minute. I've been a criminal judge for many years, and I've heard many victims of crimes.
I still heard all of this.
And any victim of a crime, no matter what the crime is, they are demoralized by what happens to them. It doesn't matter if you're injured unjustifiably, if somebody hurts you and it maybe cripples you or damages you in some fashion that's going to be long-standing injuries. If your property is stolen, your vehicles are stolen, people go into your homes, your possessions are stolen, people do all kinds of terrible things. It is a demoralizing experience. And sometimes it's the worst experience that anybody can ever go through in their entire life. And then if it turns out that the motivation for the criminal to do something bad to you was because they hate you because of your race, because of your ethnicity, because of your gender, your sexual orientation, your religion, your age, your disability. If that was the reason for it, it is exponentially worse. There is nothing worse than to be a victim of a hate crime. It is the worst thing that can happen, especially in our country with all our history and all that we're going through now to try to get around some of these issues. Hate crimes are the absolute worst. And I believe that you did damage to real hate crimes, to hate crime victims.
Yep.
There are people that are actual, genuine victims of hate crimes that you did damage to. These are people that have a difficult time coming forward. They may be mistrustful. They may not want to.
And that's what I said about the question that was asked earlier. Someone asked, what did I feel when I first heard this? And when I heard it, there was already evidence coming out that this dude was lying. So I didn't get a chance, but I'm like, in hindsight, the doubt that could come into my head if someone says this would come into my head from people lying on experiences like this. Tonight, about 15 minutes ago, a woman sent me an email telling me her horrific experience of the R word happening to her. And she went into vivid details. And it was very horrifying to hear her story. But her story wasn't even really about the details. That was just the prefix. Her story was about how she never went forward with it because she didn't think nobody would believe her. And that could come from people filing fake R-word crimes and people falsely accusing other of R-word crimes. You lay a blanket and you prevent others from ever having justice. Once this happens to a woman, her life is forever changed, and she will forever ever remember that moment. And it's supposed to be from people who supposed to be on her side, but they'll go out there and they'll allow stuff like this, and it hurts, you know. Um, when I was on YouTube, I thought I was being smart, and I was wrong. I thought I was being intelligent. I made a video, and my video was telling gay people, you are wrong for not coming out, you know, and telling people, you know, when people do these things to you, and you're wrong. I didn't say you're wrong. I would say, like, I don't understand why you would hide you're gay. Don't be ashamed of who you are. There's nothing wrong with you being gay. And I thought I was so clever making this video. It was new to YouTube. I thought I was inspiring. I thought gay people was gonna see my video and be like, yeah, he's right. I'm gonna come out. What ended up happening was gay people started coming in my inbox, and gay people was coming in the comment section, and they were saying, you don't know my life. You don't know if I do the brave thing you're telling me that I'm homeless because my parents are going to kick me out on the street. Where am I going to go? You going to take me in? You don't know that I've had sat there and listened to people say that they're going to beat the crap out of somebody if they find out they're gay. You don't know how it is because you're not gay. I thought I was so inspiring, but I was just an ignorant fool who hadn't really looked at the details of what somebody else could really go through. These things happen and they feel this way, and it only gets worse and gets shunned when someone like Jussie comes out and does something like this. You are dangerous. You are dangerous if you lie. You are dangerous if you lie in situations like this. You are as dangerous as the criminals who actually do this. You are no different.
Bring it to the attention of the community or first responders. There may be some trepidation. I don't know for sure how much damage there was. I don't know how this is going to impact other people, if they're going to be hesitant to come forward because they're going to think that they're going to be accused of acting like you and doing a stunt like you pulled here. I don't know if first responders are going to be more doubtful and skeptical of people that come forward, real victims of hate crime, because of what you did here. I'm hoping it's not that way. Now I'll show one of the ironies in this case, and I find this pretty profound.
Okay.
I got letters.
I've never heard this far. I stopped this right here, and that's when I put up my community post saying I'm gonna go live about this. So from this point on, I have no idea what the judge is about to say. So let me listen. It's my first time listening.
From people that advocate about victims of hate crime their entire lives. They devote their lives to this. I'm talking in particular, Derek Johnson, president of the NAACP, Reverend Jussie Jackson. He's an icon here in Chicago. No introductions necessary. They devote their whole lives to addressing issues about social injustice and hate crimes. And they are here today asking me to show you mercy. And I take that seriously. I find it profound. I take it seriously.
So I'll agree. I'm going to say why I disagree with this judge about showing mercy. The mercy part would be on the individual man, Jussie. As the individual man, he has a clean record, right? You can't really throw the 15 years and all that stuff at him. Jussie, to me, is not more important than the millions of people that he hurt. If one person can hurt millions of people and you go light on them, you're sending a message and telling everybody who even have a thought to want to do something like this, to lie like this. You're giving them the power to want to come out and do the same thing that Jussie did. If Jussie is one person and he can hurt millions, and you can send a message to thousands that want to do that to them, then multiply that. So from all of these victims, I would not go light on Jussie Smollet. He made his bed. I would not go light on him. This isn't about Jussie. It's about justice. So I disagree with the judge on this right here. And I would respectfully tell Jussie Jackson and everybody there who wants a lenient sentence. And this is kind of weird for Jussie Jackson and all of the people who are fighting for hate crimes. It's like, you want to prevent hate crimes, you got to go hard on the guy. He's literally counterproductive to what you're doing. To help him isn't to help your cause. What are you helping him for? Because he black? I don't care if he green. I don't care what color he is. I care about victims. And Jussie Smollett is not a, I'm trying not to cuss. He's not a victim.
And I know that they're in a better position than myself to educate the public about that topic, about the damage you've done to real victims of hate crime. And I am confident that because of all the attention that you've garnered here on this case, that they are going to seize the opportunity and they will educate the public and they'll be talking about this and they'll try to mitigate some of the damage that you've caused to real victims of hate crime.
I wouldn't listen him, Anonymous Wish. I wouldn't listen him. I would just throw the book at Karens too. I would throw the book at everyone who lied about the R word or lied on someone that's saying that they did the R word that they didn't. I will throw the book at all of them. Every punishment will be severe because you have to take a stand and say that we don't stand for this. We're not just going to listen to this and let it ride. You let one case ride. You let one case ride. You let them all ride. And eventually, one of these people that's getting falsely accused of this is going to be behind bars. Life completely destroyed. So I wouldn't lessen his. I would just throw the book at everybody that does this.
And they're better positioned to do it than I am, and I will defer. But I will acknowledge that
I will be the judge that you don't want in front of your face if I catch you lying on situations like this.
You have done some real damage. I want to talk about your premeditation. Again, I've been a criminal judge for many years, and I know that people end up where you are right now, awaiting sentencing on their criminal trial. And how did they get to court? How did that happen? There's some people that wake up in the morning, they have no intention of doing anything wrong. They're not looking to do anything criminal. That's the last thing on their mind. But there are crimes of impulse that happen. Road rage, a barroom fight, bumping into somebody, words are exchanged that somebody finds insulting, and sometimes weapons are available, and the results can be horrific, and they can be permanent. And people are sitting here and they're wondering themselves, how did I get here? I wasn't looking for trouble, but trouble just seemed to find them, and crimes and impulse. And when I'm saying that I have to put the person and the crime together and try to mix them and understand who it is that committed this crime within the sentencing
Shout out
range,
to
and
you,
that's
Robin.
part of my job to do.
It's sad
I
that I'd be
consider
surprised.
how the person got here. So, but this is not a crime of impulse. There are also crimes of opportunity. Walking down the street and somebody they left the keys in the car with the motor running, and they take the car, or they're in the.
Yo, speaking of a crime of opportunity, I went up to Old Charlie's to get my favorite salad tonight. Old Charlie's garden salad with the pecans and the grilled chicken. Y'all check it out if it's an Old Charlie in your town. I'm telling you, you'll thank me for it. But I had my headphones on. I'm listening to music. I'm just waiting. And this waiter guy, he's talking to me. And I'm like, yo, why people talk to you when you got on headphones, yo? So I'm like, dang. I move my headphone back. One of them like, yeah. You know, I'm acting like I'm listening to him. And he kept saying about money in this back in the cars. Like he said them cars was over $300, bro. And I'm talking about the judge saying crimes of opportunity. And I don't know what he mean. Like, is this a card set worth $300? But then I look over there, it's a bag with little cards in it, like Valentine's Day card or birthday card. So I guess somebody was at Old Charlie's, had a birthday, and whoever birthday it was, all the cards they left up there. And he said he heard the family saying like it's over $300, like a lot of money up in there, and they called up, they're asking for it. And he just like, at first, you know, he lied. First, he was like, you know what I'm saying? They lucky I'm a good person because, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna turn it in. But then he kept talking, and he was like, "You know what, man? The only reason I ain't gonna take all that stuff right there, I'm gonna tell you, bruh. I'm gonna tell you, bruh." And he pointed at the camera. There was cameras all over O'Charlie's. He was gonna do a crime of opportunity. He was gonna take somebody's birthday money and all the stuff they got for their family up there, and he couldn't do it. And the reason he couldn't do it changed. First, you know what I'm saying? I have integrity. So I'm not gonna do it. But then he pointed to the cameras. It's like, you're not gonna do it because you know you'll get caught. It would have been a crime of opportunity. I don't know, man. Like, to me, I don't get involved in situations. I don't do crimes. I don't do crimes, period. But like, my brain is, I would love to have more money than I have working my 9 to 5. But even if I saw like $5,000 or a crime of something right there, the risk of the unknown, like, none of that is worth it. It's just not worth it. You know, a lot of times when you do something, you pick up $100, whatever, you're not gonna even remember what you did with that. But what you did do is risk your freedom, your record, the shame that can come on you. You're a 40-some-year-old man, you steal $100 or whatever off the ground, whatever. Like, it ain't worth it to me. I'm rather keep my little job, getting my consistent money. I can know that to come in and pay my bills and be there for my children than to put myself in harm's way like that. So to me, a lot of times when people do crimes, they feel like they're more smarter than everybody. There's some sense of narcissism that comes when committing crimes, because like Jussie is laying out a plan with these two dudes as his friends. And in his plan, if he feels such, what's the word I'm looking for? He's so arrogant. He hadn't taken into account, what if there's cameras around? What if somebody track your dudes from the time they get out the car till they walk inside of a store, till they walk inside this store, till they walk down the street and see the whole thing? You didn't take that into account because you think that you know every freaking thing. It's like a form of narcissism that comes into wanting to do crimes that I just don't have. I ain't with all that, you know. Your mundane life may be mundane, but it is a life of freedom. Mundane life offers you the freedom to go out there and wake up the next day to do something to make it not mundane. But ain't nothing more mundane than waking up behind bars in the same clothes, taking a shower around a bunch of criminals and dangerous people every day, eating your 3 meals. There's nothing more mundane than that.
Department store and they see someone put the credit card on this side and they go to adjust their baggage on the other side and grab the credit card. Those are crimes of opportunity. They didn't wake up thinking they're going to commit a crime, but something just looked too tempting to them. They use very bad judgment, and then they get in trouble. They get caught, and here they are. Then there are crimes of premeditation, Mr. Smollet. That's what you are all about here. Crime of premeditation. You did wake up in the morning thinking you were going to do something bad and something wrong. And I know more today about this than I ever did before, that there are some wonderful things about you. And I know how people, they cherish you and they cherish your relationships and they cherish the good works that you've done. And they love you sincerely and deeply. And they're not faking, they're not lying when they talk to me about their feelings about you and the good things that you've done. But you had that dark side. And this is what happened here. You premeditated this case to an extreme that's amazing. You wrote a script. The script involved words. You're gonna encounter me on the street.
He wrote a script.
Yell out empire, N-word, F-word. You're gonna hit me. You're gonna beat me up. You're gonna put bleach on me. You're gonna put a noose around my neck. That's a script that you wrote. Now, it's not a good script, especially for Streeterville in Chicago. It's questionable, but it's a script that you wrote. You picked out the actors. You chose the Ocean-Darrow brothers. Why did you do that? Because you knew them. You trusted them. They idolized you. You're an established actor in a serious television production of Empire.
Joe did his
They
homework.
were kind of hangers on there. They're trying to get jobs as extras, maybe a little speaking part here and there, but you were meant
Type a 1 if you can hear me. Type a 1 if you can hear me. Oh, wait, you should. Okay. So my internet just went off. Which weird. Don't worry about a bill being paid. The internet is free from my apartment complex. So I don't know. Not bad. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back up. So right now I'm connected to my phone until it pops back up. But if this happens again, you guys don't have to worry about it because StreamYards is going to keep the live going. So all you gotta do is wait for me to pop back up. But the connection is very small. And y'all know how phones have spots, so they'll turn off and stuff for no reason. So if it hangs up, let me get my other phone that's only Wi-Fi. Because I know if my phone start working again, then the internet's back up. So let me get my other phone so I can check when the internet's back up inside my apartment. Let me turn the camera off. That's right. Dun, 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 dun. Where did I put that phone, Minnie? Do you know what did I put that phone at? You know what? I'll use this right here. Ain't gotta be a phone, it can be anything. Let me see. Um type of one if you can hear me. Type one if you can hear me. I'm just plugging this right here up because if this ever gets connection, then I know my apartment Wi-Fi is back up. Type of one if you can hear me. Oh, y'all can hear me. All right. Okay. So my phone got three spots right there. So if this phone comes on, then my internet is back up. All right. What's up, Miss Love Jana and your one? Victory begins in the garden. I like the name. I can use a free pizza about now. What are you doing after selling your place? Okay, so let me rephrase that for all y'all. Let me rephrase that. It's gonna be choppy because my phone ain't that strong to pull the whole live with all these things open on my computer. Damn, I was about to say something. Let me clarify. My internet is not free. My internet is in my rent. They force you to get internet, they force you to get cable, and it's in your rent. You can go get another cable company if you want, but it will be redundant because you have no choice. You have to get Spectrum cable here, and you have to get Spectrum internet. You get a bill, and every month your bill says $0 because it's coming out of your rent. Hold on. So the internet is not back up in my apartment. It's kind of weird though. A lot of people kept saying I overwatered my aloe plant. I was told you put water in your aloe plant It's a little cupful once every 2 weeks. That's what I've been doing since I got it. I got my aloe plant when I moved to California. Which is over almost 2 years now. We hate Spectrum, yeah. I'm trying to wait for my Wi-Fi to come back up. There it is. Hold on. I think it's back on. Let's see. It's showing full range at the top right here. Hold on. Okay. Back on. Let's see. All right, so let's switch back. I may cut out. I'm switching back, switching Wi-Fi. Joking. My phone Wi-Fi. My phone Wi-Fi is called Crime Phone. CHRYME. That's my phone. My home Wi-Fi is Crime Zone. Okay, that was weird. I'm on my house Wi-Fi. Should be fast. It should be rolling now. Type a 1, and we'll continue where we left off as soon as y'all type y'all 1. Should be fast. It should be rolling now. Type a 1, and we'll continue where we left off as soon as y'all type y'all 1. Weird looking at myself live. It should be rolling now. Type a 1, and we'll continue where we left off as soon. All right. Thank you, buddy. Look, I can tell y'all now. I used to want to tell y'all, but when I had this channel, y'all saw me showing y'all all these fancy phones, these Motorola phones, the reason I had all these phones is because I worked for Motorola. I couldn't tell y'all that back then because we have deranged people who want to look into your real life. But that's what I did for a living. I worked for Motorola. If y'all saw the Razr commercial when the flip phone Motorola came out, you can thank your boy for that commercial. You can thank me for that commercial. So y'all learn a little bit of information about me. So my going away present when I left Motorola is I got to keep all of these nice phones and all of these nice gadgets. Oh, but for all the haters, I don't work there anymore. What's up, Krista? That's how I got all this nice stuff. But Motorola didn't know the whole time I was working with them. I had an iPhone. We used to have to go to these business trips and stuff. Y'all see me out of town or flying all to these different places. I remember right when COVID came out, and I did the video on Gannon Stout. And if you go watch my Gannon Stout video, I said I empathize with Gannon Stout's father because he went on a work retreat for a weekend. He went on that retreat, and then that's when it happened to Gannon. And I said, y'all remember at the time who've been following my channel, I left. I celebrated my birthday with my teenage daughter early because I wasn't going to be there for her birthday because I had to fly out of town. When I flew out of town, that's when we flew out of town to go to the factory in Motorola's parent company. What was Motorola parent company? Lenovo in North Carolina. We went to Lenovo. We got to see how they made the Razr flip phone from inside out. It was very, very interesting. So that's what I was doing on my business trip when I went out of town when I worked for Motorola. All right, let's get back to it. Here's some interesting facts I tell you. Y'all gonna make my nerd come out. Somebody says that Apple buried Motorola. When I worked for Motorola, we increased our profits far more than Apple and Samsung. And that will be surprising to you all because you just go by the fancy stuff. But you got to think Motorola, it's sort of like, I guess the analogy is people think Kanye West shoes sells the most for Adidas. No, the most Adidas shoes are just the plain $60 Adidas shoes because they're cheap and they sell out all over the whole world, all over the world. So Motorola phones sold out all over the whole world. The cheap phones, everybody has a cheap little Motorola, and immigrants and a lot of people in the United States, especially when you get to the Florida market. So when you're dealing with a lot of Hispanic people, they buy a bunch of Motorola phones. They ship them to their family members because they're cheap, and they got them. They use WhatsApp. That's why we Americans, we don't really use WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is the biggest messenger used in the world. It's, just because it's not big in America. It's sort of like soccer. Soccer not that huge in America, but it's the biggest sport in the world. More people across the whole world was having Motorola's at the cheaper prices, with Motorola not spending a lot of money on advertisement, blah, blah, blah. Let me get all into it. So what happened was Samsung and Apple started saying like, yo, why Motorola making all this money? So that's when Apple invented what do you call it? What's the cheap little iPhone that they got? I forget. Y'all know the name of the cheap little iPhone they come out with. They got a new one coming out with a couple months from now. Still got a little button at the bottom. And then Samsung came out with their A-line series, the Samsung A20, the Samsung A50. All of that came because it was like, yo, we making all these expensive $1,000 phones. Motorola making all this money. We finna go on Motorola and give them competition because we finna make lower grade phones. And I think to me, that Motorola is hurting now because now Motorola had competition when they didn't have really competition at that level, that low. So it's interesting. Yeah, the iPhone SE. The iPhone SE was invented straight from Motorola making all these profits. That's what I did for a living. I have no embargo. I can say what I want to, as long as I don't give away company secrets and all that stuff. But these are numbers you can go and look up. But that's what I did for a living when I was John Crimes. I work for Motorola throughout the day, and then at nighttime I come and do investigations on true crime cases. All right. Let's go back and pull up the video. There we go. Who are you now? I never tell where I work now. Not in this freaking world. But that's what I used to do. And y'all could tell by some of my roasting jokes or whatever. I used to roast people and be like, I know you got that Boost Moto E. You got that Boost Moto E9. I knew about all that stuff, man. Yeah, that's what I did. All right.
They're in great shape. They gave you a little advice about diet and exercise, but they idolized you and they would have done anything for you. And you chose them because you knew that you could trust them, that they were loyal to you. You paid them in advance by check. Not necessarily a good idea, but it was your idea. It was part of the plan that you would pay them in advance. And the check was out there. The check was shown into evidence. That was part of your premeditation. You chose a date. You chose a time. You chose a location. You had props procured. You gave them $100 bill and had them get the supplies. What are the supplies in this case? Get masks. Nobody should see you. We're going to say that you're white, but obviously the Oceandero brothers are not white. We're going to cover your faces in masks. We're going to have a red hat because that's going to indicate MAGA country. We're going to get a rope that we're going to use as a noose. We're going to procure some bleach. You're going to have the supplies. And then you had all that together, and then you did rehearsals. You picked them up and you did drive-bys. You drove around and around the block. You picked them up in Lakeview in their neighborhood, and some distance away, you went to Streeterville where you were living, and you showed them.
See, I didn't even know all this.
There, and you're going over the lines. You're going over the script with them, so they would memorize the script. You're indicating which brother. You're the one that's going to hit me. You're the one that's going to put the noose around my neck and pour the bleach on me. This was planned. This was premeditated to the extreme. And I find that your extreme premeditation in this case is an aggravating factor today. Let's talk about the incident itself. It's all set up. The Oceandero brothers are on board. Your plane is running late. Now, you had a chance right then and there to think, okay, I'm really late. I'm 4 hours late. This can't go down. It's freezing in Chicago. We're on the verge of a polar vortex. You might have just thought about it and said, maybe it's not in the cards. Maybe the karma is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. But no. You double down. You start communicating with the brothers through social media. Now, whether it was by texts or chats or Instagram, public or private, one way or another, you kept in touch with them. And there was some quibbling about the specifics about how you kept in touch with them, but they knew what time you were coming in. And now the time is pushed back to 2:00 in the morning.
Yo, these are some dumb, I don't say dumb details, not on the job. Just learning what Jussie did was like, yo, this is pretty dumb. Did you guys know all these details? Because I'm just not finding this out. Like, wow, dude, you really. So I'm going to tell you why Jussie probably thought he was going to get away with this. Typically, no one looks at the person making the claim. And that's what happened. Y'all know the woman name, white woman, famous video 5 years ago. She's running on security, running across this field or whatever. And she said that she just escaped her captor. We just found out last month that she didn't escape her captor. She just wanted to cheat on her husband and with her ex and had us all fooled. Like, the reason people think they get away with stuff like this is because we have set a precedent in the past that we are not going to investigate the alleged victim. You weren't supposed to look at Jussie Smollet. If you look at Jussie Smollet, it was going to come crumble. So everything he wanted all depended upon the police 100% not looking at him. If for my people on my hip hop channel, this is why I don't like DJ Academics. DJ Academics says that, only for my hip hop fans, his whole premise depends upon everybody he keep talking trash about, all these rappers, no one ever taking a swing at him. And it's so crazy how hardcore and blatant he disrespect these men who are criminals, who have shot people, done this stuff, and he does it because he's saying, I'm a nerd, so if you do it, I'm going to sue you. So his whole premise, he feels is working, but all it takes is one guy to be like, I ain't got shit you can sue me for, bro. Talk that shit to me, bam. It all comes crumbling down on one simple thing. Jussie Smollett and that lady, Cherie Papini, whatever her name, they all depended 100% on the police not looking, because once you look, it's right there in your face. He didn't hide it at all. That's why they do this stuff. And this is why you need to throw the book at him. You need to throw the book at Jussie, man. And I hope we as a country set a new precedent that when you come out making these claims, you say, oh, somebody robbed me. All right, we're going to go look for the robber, give us the description, all that. But, just be on the safe side. We're going to look at you and make sure you ain't lying. We need to do it that way. All investigations.
In the freezing cold weather, it's double digits below zero at 2:00 in the morning. You have to have a reason to be out on the street. And the reason you chose is you come up with the story that you needed to get some eggs at Walgreens at 2:00 in the morning. And if not that, you're going to go to Subway and get a sandwich and a salad and get something to eat at 2:00 in the morning in the freezing cold. You did one more thing. You got the Oceandero brothers. Now they're on board with you. You're using them as your patsies. You have your friend, you get your friend Brandon on the phone, and here's a man, professional man, that's trying to help you in your career. You're not sure what town he's in, if he's in Australia or not, but you get him on the phone, and he's going to be your patsy also, because he's going to listen and be around on the phone to hear that you're being attacked by somebody. Now, he doesn't know what's going on. It's really not an attack, but he's going to be able to corroborate your story. So you're getting that together. You got Brandon on the phone. You're out on the street, ostensibly to get some Subway. You get some Subway, and you're walking to where this is supposed to take place. Now, the Oceandero brothers, they're getting ready too. And they're doing this because you wanted them to do it on the sneak. No cell phones involved. Make sure nobody sees you get there. And what they think is some kind of clever way of getting there, they have an Uber pick them up from their home in Lakeview. They take the Uber to Old Town. It's a different neighborhood. They get out of the Uber and they get into a cab. Now, the cab is supposed to go to Streeterville, but not to the scene where this is supposed to happen, a few blocks away. So nobody actually sees them get out of the cab, and this works out the way you want it to work out. So they get there a little early. They're walking around. They're sitting on a bench for a minute. But at 2 o'clock, the time that you said this is supposed to happen, at the place you said it was supposed to happen, at the moment you said it was supposed to happen, they appear. So you're talking to Brandon on the phone. You have your Subway in hand, and they follow the script. Hey, Empire, word with the letter N, word with the letter F. There's a scuffle. They pour bleach on you. Brandon's listening to this. They attempt to put a noose around your neck during the scuffling. You're getting a little abrasion and scrape on your face. A car goes by, and the brothers take off. They leave. They never did get the noose around your neck. So what do? You gather your belongings. You get the cell phone. You're talking to Brandon. Hey, did you get jumped? Yeah, I got jumped. I got mugged. Did you hear what happened? You're trying to make sure that he heard the words that were spoken. You grab your food, and you took the noose that they never did get around your neck, and you put it around your own neck. I repeat, you put the noose around your own neck.
Wow. So y'all help me out with this. I ain't follow details. So for the judge to say this, that means they got him on video putting the noose around his own neck. This is secondhand embarrassment. I'm embarrassed for this man. Am I wrong? Somebody help me out. There's video footage of Jussie Smollet putting the noose around his own neck. I know family is supposed to support you, bruh. I don't know when my mama would support me. That I get my stuff from my mom, man. We go off evidence and stuff. I think my mom will know me enough. You know your child. You're with Jussie Smollett in his 30s. This man, mama know him, bruh. This may be new to us, but somewhere growing up, Jussie made an outlandish lying claim his mama caught him in. He probably told the biggest stories in the world. Jussie Smollett was probably finna get on punishment. You did it, didn't you? No, I promise, mama, I didn't do it. Well, what happened then? How did the bunk beds break? Okay, mama, I'm ready to tell you. I opened the door and they said that they just wanted to know what I buy Girl Scout cookies. And they kicked the door in and ran in my room. And then you're not going to believe this, Mom. They tore down the bunk banks and they ran out. Son, come here. Come on, man. I know it's parents in the audience watching me right now. Come on, man. I know it. You mean to tell me this man made it this far and it's the first time he said such an outlandish lie? We can't be this blind as parents. And then you see it. We see it all the time. If you're fans of true crime, you watch cases. Scott Peterson's mom died believing her son is innocent. She know what her son capable of. Go on and dye your goatee gold in your hair. We gonna help you get this money to go down to Mexico, Scott. You know what your child is capable of, man. I mean, it comes a point. This man is on camera putting the noose around his own neck, and his mom is in the courtroom portraying like her son is innocent and being railroaded. Come on, man. Shout out to Karen. Shout out. Appreciate you for subscribing, Karen. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie, bro. Like, I love my kids, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hold your hand because you my child. I'm gonna be there for you and walk you through this because you about to go to prison and I need you to come out alive. I'm gonna be there for my child. But if I know you did it, I'm not finna go out here and say you're innocent. I need for you to be a better person. And as your father, you need to go up there and admit that you did this. This is outlandish, son. You put look, I can rewind it and show you in slow motion putting the noose around your own neck, son. I can come. I'm being here for you as a parent. I'm gonna be here with you. I love you. I don't care what you did. I love you. You my child. But you lied. My mom had boomerang shoes. That's crazy. He even tightened it up between downstairs and when the police got there. It's a secondhand embarrassment. It's a secondhand embarrassment. Wow. Let me ask y'all something. Is any celebrities left out here taking up for Jussie Smollet? The cop said, so you want to take that up now? That means the cops didn't believe him from the jump. Here we go with Live Abuse Free. She says they do what they think a normal person would do, but they always end up making a fatal error because they're not a normal person. A normal person, a normal minority that has been hit with a hate crime. I don't even want to say minority because it could be men doing this shit against women. But like when this happens to a victim, the first thing you're going to do is throw the noose off of you around your neck. You're not going to keep it around your neck for like evidence or fingerprints or whatever. It's still there where it's on your neck or not. A normal person takes the noose off their neck. They take it with them if they go into the apartment for the evidence when the police come. There it is right over there. That's the noose that was around my neck. But they are not normal. So they do what they think a normal person would do. Fascinating.
You go home. Video footage shows that when you walk into your residence, you have this noose dangling loosely around your neck. You go into your apartment, the police are called, the police arrive. The first officer on the scene is Chicago Police Officer Mohammed Beg, in full uniform, the first responder of the first responders. His body cam is on. He sees you. And now he sees that that noose is around your neck, but it's not the way that you walked into the house. Now the noose is up at your throat. You've maneuvered the noose, and you've made it look worse than it was. This is part of your plan. Officer Beg asks a simple question: what happened? And then you start to lie. And you haven't stopped lying ever since. You've been lying and lying and lying about this case, and that's why you're here today. You want to fake an incident on the street, try to get some attention at work, try to have somebody else feel sorry for you. That would never have got you here. The problem was you lied to the police. and you caused all kinds of consternation. You caused a major investigation to take place, which got many people involved and caused great stress throughout the city and throughout the entire community here. And that's the problem. That's why you're here.
The entire country.
Those were the crimes you're convicted of, not the shenanigans out there.
And with YouTube, with the internet, stuff don't stay in America. So it's not like just Americans saw this. Like, if people in my chat, people from the UK, Australia, the entire world watch you do this. You dumb. This is not a scandal. The entire world. This is embarrassing, man. I'm embarrassed for his parents, everybody around him. Yo, I'm imagining, what's her name played in Baby Boy? She playing Empire. What's her name? I'm forgetting her name. Incredibly great actress. I'm just imagining her face as she loved Jussie Smollett. She took up for him. I'm imagining her face. As y'all know the face that she makes. Somebody type her name in the chat. God, what's her name? Yeah, Taraji P. Henson. You know how Taraji P. Henson makes these really dramatic faces. Just imagine Taraji looking at this judge like she did, like she was making faces. What's the movie? Hustle and Flow. I can imagine. I know she watched this. I know the entire cast watched the judge deliver this. This is amazing, man.
The lying about it, making it up, and that's why we're here now. You repeated your lies at the hospital. 6 counts were put together. The jury found you guilty of 5 of them. One was a little bit different than the others, and I understand that. Let me say, from my vantage point, and I was obviously here at every stage of this trial, I thought the jury's verdict was accurate, correct, wholly corroborated, but what could only be described as overwhelming evidence.
Yo, y'all let me know. Did the jury debate long? Did they? Whoever followed this case, did they debate long? I'd have been in the jury room soon. I'd have been the first one sitting down, plant my ring. Guilty. I mean, is there anything to discuss? I really have not seen my family for a while. I just warning you guys right now, if someone says he's innocent, I'm about to go batshit on you right now. Is there anything for us to discuss? Because I can have a coffee. Is there anything? 9 hours? I deal with murder cases, right? 9 hours is short for a jury. Or murder. Let me ask you something. I don't know. Are you forced to go through all the evidence once you go in the back? Or do you only need to go through all evidence if it's necessary? Like, do you have to? This fine ain't gonna hurt if he was making $2 million a year. And then his family got money. That ain't nothing. But I'm gonna get into his biggest punishment. 5 months ain't his biggest punishment. 9 hours is short for a murder case. But for this, that's incredibly long. Someone said yes. So once the case is over and the jury goes in, you have no choice. You have to look at all the evidence at that point. I'm gonna tell you right now. What is it called? What's the famous movie? To Kill a Mockingbird? Isn't that the famous movie with the jurors in that room back there? If Jussie Smollett case was To Kill a Mockingbird, I'm finna tell y'all something y'all ain't gonna like. I'm the old white man. Y'all, you're 12 angry men. My bad, not To Kill a Mockingbird. That's another court case. So 12 Angry Men. I'm the old white man in 12 Angry Men. Y'all know the old white man in that movie. He went back there like, bruh, I ain't leaving unless it's guilty. I don't care what you say. We gonna deadlock or he guilty. Nothing you can say change my mind. Ain't nothing. I'm the old white man in 12 Angry Men. I was on jury duty for a traffic accident. We didn't go over the evidence. Yeah, I'm not. There's nothing for me to discuss. 9 hours is way too long for this. I don't know what they did for 9 hours. I think personally, the judge gave the jurors a ping pong table and a pool table, and they wanted to get that last 8 hours in, 8 hours of jury duty to just go on and get that final check. I can't think of no other reason they can be back there that long.
Guilt against you for lying. That's the crime you're here for, lying to the police. Well, Officer Bay took this very seriously. He said, that's a horrible thing that happened. And he started the process.
Nah, there was a lot of all white men in that movie, but there was you know who I'm talking about. If you ever seen 12 Angry Men, we all know which juror I'm talking about. That juror wasn't having it, boy.
Process of police investigation, detectives got involved, you ended up at the hospital. All things were starting to happen, and this word got out. And you're not just any person. You have a little bit of celebrity about you. You were known in some circles as a very competent actor, a really good actor in a very serious television production called Empire, and people knew.
What count was not guilty? What count was not guilty? Lee J called. The antagonist in 12 Angry Men, put it like that. There was one antagonist that went against, forget the main actor name. He got 5 of the 6. I would be interested to know which count he was found not guilty of.
Knew about this, and because you're a celebrity and because you've been so active in all these social justice causes,
Henry Fonda.
This is what is so unbelievable about this case, that you of all people are here convicted of hoaxing hate crimes. You who know better, who are out there in the world trying to be.
What's the shortest time a jury has deliberated? On the 22nd of July 2004, Nicholas Clive McAllister in New Zealand was acquitted of cultivating cannabis plants at a hearing that lasted just 1 minute. How is that humanly possible? On the 22nd of July 2004, if y'all want to Google this, Nicholas Clive McAllister, parentheses New Zealand, was acquitted of cultivating cannabis plants at the hearing that lasted just 1 minute at Greymouth District Court, Greymouth, West Coast, New Zealand. The jury left to consider the verdict at 3:28 p.m. and returned at 3:29. Wow, boy, they must really like him. I'm gonna type murder. Let's see what's the shortest. Kenosha, Wisconsin. The jurors in the Derek Chauvin murder trial in Minneapolis deliberated in April for 10 hours. In 1995, a jury in the O.J. Simpson trial delivered a verdict in less than 4 hours. Yo, that is kind of short for O.J., bro. I thought I seen everything O.J. Like, dang. Shortest deliberation as long as possible sentence. A jury took the shortest recorded time to convict Martin Arroyo. Am I saying this right? Arroyo. Martin Arroyo of felony stalking, assault, and harassment. Let me open this right here. Hold on. A 6-minute verdict guilty. 6 minutes! The jury used half an hour break to start deliberations early against the instructions of the judge. That would give them 36 minutes. They deliberated 36 minutes and took a 30-minute break. Yo, these some savages, bro. I got to share this with y'all. Hold on. We'll come back to this. There's some savage stuff going on right here, bro. Well, there's some savage 12 people on here, man. Yeah, OJ was short. Look, y'all don't want y'all to think I'm making this up. 6-minute verdict. Shortest jury. So this one says it's the shortest. Let's look at this right here. I don't know why. I always thought it's totally off subject. GoDaddy. I just never liked that name for a website build. I like WordPress, Square, all this. I just like, why GoDaddy? Why? Why can't I read this? Why can't I read the article? Support local journalism. Let me see what you wrote. What am I supporting? Look at bruh face, bruh. This is the shortest time ever a jury has deliberated because this dude imagine if he looked at the jury like that. Nah, we gotta get Buddy up out of here. After an Eagle County jury took the shortest time on record to convict the man of assaulting, and harassing a woman, the judge gave him the longest possible prison term. Last month, the jury convicted Martin Arroyo in 9 minutes. And he got 4 years in prison in 9 minutes. Oh, man. All right. I'm sorry for the segue. Y'all, I'm sorry. That's how my brain work. Y'all threw it out there for me. 9 minutes. The other one beat him technically because it was 36 minutes, but they took a 30-minute lunch break. So and that was a murder. Let me read y'all comments. Mark said, "Oh yeah, he did it." As soon as you see his face, I wouldn't laugh normal, but he's a creep. Yeah, man. Wasn't Shander Halderson's like an hour? Who is that? I gotta look him up. Yeah. Y'all know how short 6 minutes is? There's like 3 songs in 2022. There's like 2 songs in 1990. I love your laugh. Dolphin. All right, let's get back on subject, y'all.
Something for the good in social justice causes that you ended up here right now like this. It's crazy. But you know people in high places, elected public officials. They reacted. You knew mainstream journalists. They reacted. You became the first page, your front page news.
Yep, Stella Brown, one song.
In the halls of Congress, people are talking about making laws to prevent what happened to you to happen to anybody else. People on mainstream media are decrying what happened. What kind of country is this? How could they do this to Jussie? We know Jussie. He's such a gentle guy. He's the guy that was described to me by all the family and friends that I heard from today. And I believe that Jussie exists. But you use them as your patsies too. They were giving you the national pity party you wanted. They're putting you on the front page. All the attention is on you. People talk about social injustice. Your name was coming up first, which is exactly what you wanted.
Oh my God.
But you used them. If anything, people in those positions, elected public officials, mainstream journalists, their credibility is everything to them. And you didn't care that you might be damaging it. You did damage to them because, again, there's a side of you that has this arrogance and selfishness and narcissism that's just disgraceful. Your plan worked, of course, until it didn't. We're in Chicago. You lived here for 5 years, working on the Empire show. And you have to know, as well as anybody that lives in Chicago, that Chicagoans, they love their city. They're fiercely loyal to the city. And believe me, Chicagoans know we don't all agree with each other on a lot. There are all kinds of disagreements on what our city should be, what the vision should be for the future. There's even disagreements about what our past was like. But despite all the disagreements and all the things that are not right with Chicago, it's sweet home to Chicago, to the Chicagoans. Chicagoans are fiercely loyal to their city. But Chicagoans have one thing in common that they agree on, that there's no misunderstandings. Everybody's on the same page. And that page is crime is a problem. It is a major problem. Nobody disagrees. And we know that police resources, they are valuable. They're limited. detective resources are precious, and they cannot be squandered. And what you did, because you were selfishly, arrogantly, and narcissistically bringing attention to yourself, it's the only reason you could have been doing such a crazy thing that you did, was you took away a lot of resources from other places, from other real victims of real crimes. You used up the police resources for your own benefit, and that's a big problem here. What you did is you created.
Oh man, so I'm glad somebody said something. Somebody said, John, what's up, Rachel? My girl. I missed the not guilty charge. Okay, let me scroll up. What was the not guilty charge? Somebody typed it up above. I don't see. What was the not guilty charge? I already told y'all, if you've been rocking my channel, I would have voted OJ Simpson not guilty. If you want to know why, I'll elaborate. Just let me know. I don't want to repeat it again, but I think OJ killed Nicole, and I think he killed Ron. I would have voted him not guilty. The right of all citizens to serve on juries, regardless of color. This must be a major case back in the day. Returns to rabbit hole. He was found not guilty of aggravated battery. The charges all stem from a January 2019 report where Smollet alleged that someone wants to know. Okay, I'll tell y'all why I'll vote. I'll tell y'all why I say if I was a jury, I would say OJ not guilty. But I want to see the rest of what, because at face value right here, I would have voted Jussie Smollett not guilty of aggravated battery. I don't see where he did aggravated battery yet. So I agree, unless some more evidence y'all can show me comes in. I don't see where Jussie Smollett did aggravated battery. So maybe I would let him off on this one charge. Hold on. Y'all gonna make me laugh. Don't laugh. I can't laugh. I'm trying to be serious. Oh my God, I'm trying to be serious. When my children come to my place, when they come to daddy for my love of movies, we have to watch classics. So this weekend, my children told me they never heard of Jim Carrey. So they watched The Mask. I start my kids off with The Mask because I like that. But that's going to be the most kid-friendliest one. Is The Mask. They like The Mask, but surprisingly, they like Liar, Liar worse than The Mask. So looking at this courtroom case and looking at that Jussie Smollett, looking at that Jussie Smollett had bruises that he caused to himself, it reminded me of Jim Carrey in the bathroom on Liar, Liar. So the only way you can charge Jussie Smollett of aggravated battery would be for beating himself up. They asked Jim Carrey, could you describe your assailant? About 6'2", lanky, big teeth, a desperate, lonely man. Oh, it was disorderly conduct. He was innocent of. I don't know. I wouldn't say he's guilty of disorderly conduct. Bruce Almighty. I showed my kids the trailer. We didn't have time to watch it because we had to do the soccer games today. But they'll watch it next weekend when they come over. Bruce Almighty. Yeah, that's he said. I'm kicking my own. My kids love Liar Liar more than they like The Mask. I just thought that was amazing. I thought kids, The Mask, he put on the green thing and he does these cartoonish like things, but they like Liar Liar better. The false police report is not a crime in that state. Yeah, one thing though about Liar Liar I like showing my kids was that it was about a father doing what he said, being consistent, and we was talking on like, he may mean well, but he keep promising his son that he's gonna be there, and his son is sad. Look at every time that's why it's important to do what you say you're gonna do, and that's why it's important for me to be there with y'all. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make sure I'm always there for you guys. So, but that brings me up to something what I am gonna watch the next time my kids come over. I'm gonna watch Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire is a very funny movie, but it is also a very important movie that a divorced father can watch with his children, because the love Robin Williams his character he played, the love he had for his kids, and he just wanted to be in his children's life. I think that's going to be great to watch my children. So I'm 100% going to play Mrs. Doubtfire when they come over. Yeah, and they love the claw. And then my son, remember, so from Liar Liar, I used to do the claw with my son when he was young. I stole it directly from Jim Carrey, so he saw where I got that from. But yeah, I'm gonna watch Mrs. Doubtfire with my kids when they come over next time. All right. So just so we're clear, it wasn't aggravated battery that he was found innocent of. He was found innocent of disorderly conduct. I would have found him guilty of disorderly conduct. Out there staging fake aggravated assaults. Yo, Jussie Smollet gonna get charged with aggravated assault for doing the claw on himself. And put a MAGA hat on his own hand. But before I click play and continue where the judge left off, you guys ask, why would I have voted OJ not guilty? You have put doubt in my head on everything that shows that OJ is guilty. What shows OJ is guilty of killing Nicole? Blood evidence. You have tainted the blood evidence. There's blood evidence with this substance on it that only could come from the lab, from the police pulling blood from OJ. I can't use that when I go back to the jury. You have caused doubt. I'm not saying you made me believe that he didn't do it, but you did enough to cause doubt for me. Like, yo, you look, this is the blood from the lab, or on some of it, the shoes. OJ's shoes could make him be guilty. You put the shoes in the trunk of a detective's car, and the car left from the crime scene to his house and stayed there for a couple of days and then went back. You've broken the chain of evidence. I cannot use the shoes. You jumped over the fence without a warrant and you found the glove. The glove is number one. I can't use it. Everything that you had that shows that OJ murdered Nicole and Ron, you contaminated. I'm very fair. If I'm on the jury, there's no way if everything you have contaminated, everything that shows that OJ did it. I believe OJ killed him. I believe OJ went there in a fit of rage and murdered his wife, Nicole, and murdered that innocent man, Ron. But if I have to go off me on a jury, I can't go what I believe. I have to go by the evidence you're showing me, and you contaminated all of the evidence. So the police will have no choice but to look at themselves, because I would have voted OJ not guilty. I will flip this coin to show you I'm not biased. I hate George Zimmerman with a passion. I think that George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin in cold blood. I would have voted George Zimmerman not guilty because that was a crappy trial. And what you laid out in that trial by rushing it, you let the public use peer pressure to rush this man to trial before you had the solid case on him. And it was a weak trial. I don't care how much you hate George Zimmerman. That was a weak trial. I would have been angry. I would have been upset, but I would have had no choice but to vote him not guilty based upon what they showed in court. I'm a fair guy. And in both of those situations, I think both of those guys did it. I think OJ killed Nicole, and I think that George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin in cold blood. You only get one shot in court, so you have to do it right. You have to do it the right way. Even if it takes time, I'd rather you take your time and do it the right way than to do it and you miss the one chance you get because of double jeopardy. So that's why. And I hope I explained that good enough. Yeah, I saw that book. The funny thing to me, and it's gonna always be funny, is OJ saying how his legs and back is too messed up and he couldn't do it. Then they showed that workout video, him humping 2 days before the murder. Yes, left, right, left. OJ was getting it, boy. I was like, bruh, come on, man. Bruh. So the LAPD messed up the OJ Simpson trial, and I think the public put so much pressure on the city that they rushed the George Zimmerman to trial. When there's no statute of limitation, man. Take your time until you know you can get them. Don't let the public push you, man. I want bad people behind bars.
Created what we call around here a heater. What's a heater? A heater is a case that when it's reported to the public conscience is shocked to such an extreme that the public is demanding that the police solve this crime here, right now, right here, right now. Everything else has to take second place. The heater has to be addressed. And you created a heater. And boy, did they put on an investigation. And I know that I've been listening to Chicago police officers and listening about police investigations for many years. And it's certainly not a perfect police department. It's perhaps unfairly maligned in some respects as well. I'll match the homicide detectives here against any in the country for their competence and thoroughness. Not a question about that. But what they did in this case is extraordinary. I've never seen.
I think Scott Peterson killed his wife. I think Scott Peterson deserves a new trial. It is the most easiest. And even though I think that Scott Peterson is a murderer, I think that is an injustice that Scott Peterson has been in prison for this long. When as soon as the court ended, you saw the redhead jurors say she was just there to make sure he's guilty. She didn't care about the evidence, none of that stuff. She didn't care about nothing. She had a vendetta to make sure that he was going to be found guilty. How can a person say this in public and then a man spend over 20 years in prison? That is automatically not a fair trial. Automatically. I think that Scott Peterson should get retried, and I think the evidence is going to show that he killed his wife.
Even in some murder cases, the amount of police work that went into this investigation, you did exactly what you didn't want to happen. They put so many police resources into this. When I say what you didn't want to happen is you never wanted this case solved. You thought that somehow you'd be able to skate by and nobody would ever know what really happened here. And you're going to walk away from this. And it didn't go down like that at all, of course. Mm-hmm. So they solved the case. And what happened? Turns out that you're not a victim of a hate crime. You're not a victim of a racial hate crime. You're not a victim of homophobic hate crime. You're just a charlatan pretending to be a victim of a hate crime. And that's shameful, especially from the family you got brought up with your family values. Mm-hmm. It's so sad. The damage you've done to yourself is way beyond anything else that can happen to you from me.
I agree.
Or any other judge that would be sentencing you in this criminal case. You are now a permanently convicted felon.
Woo!
Your family who loves you and supports you. I only want to use the word forgive because forgiveness isn't even necessary. They're with you so much. They're so tight-knit, but you have to live with the fact that you really put them through a ringer. You've embarrassed your valuable friends in high places, the elected public.
Now that's a mistake that we make is just regular normal people, because we imagine us sitting right there, and you imagine you sitting right there because you have a heart, because you have empathy. It will burn you inside, the harm that you caused to your family, the embarrassment. I mean, it will eat you alive inside. But we gotta remember, like, when narcissists don't think like we think. Right there, look at Jussie's face. He's only thinking about himself. He's analyzing the stuff this judge is saying, and he already probably plotting in his head what he'll do, you know what I'm saying, on himself. He's not thinking about his family. It will never, for 1 second, he will never be alone. Be like, dang, man, this was kind of crazy, man. Look what I did to my family name. That doesn't work. And that's the mistake we often make as human beings. We put ourselves in this position and we think that because we care that this person cares. And you have to understand when someone is just crazy. He's incapable of caring.
Public officials, people in the media, you've embarrassed them. You have to live with that. I don't know if those relationships can be repaired. You've become toxic in your own workplace. Your career future is uncertain at very best. It was really on a rocket ship to success, and now you've turned yourself into riches to rags, and it's so unfortunate. Your very name has become an adverb for lying, and I cannot imagine what could be worse than that. People talk about situations where somebody's lying and trying to manipulate and maneuver a story, and your name comes up as, oh, pulling a Jussie, something like that. That's awful. You're the butt of jokes. Comedians, mainstream talk show hosts, they make jokes about you. They do sketches about you.
Oh, the judge going in.
Worse than that.
It's the third round in the battle rap.
These are things you did to yourself. This is self-damage. Well, some people may think that what you did is funny, and there's some room for humor or jokes about it. But I assure you, this court does not. I don't think there is anything funny at all
Bars
about hoaxing and faking racial hate crimes, hoaxing or faking homophobic hate crimes. I think that is disgraceful. There is nothing funny about it. There's no humor in what you did whatsoever. All because you're selfish, arrogant, narcissistic. At least you have that side in you that came out through this case, and you kept doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. And I'm your sentencing judge, and I don't find it funny. So where are we at? We're at the end. You're convicted of a class 4 felony. It's presumptively probationable, but we have some real serious aggravating factors here.
Oh, right there, he's going to jail.
Premeditation, which I've described. The pain you've caused to real victims of hate crimes, which I have described. The damage you've done to the city of Chicago, I've heard. It's been talked about. I'm mindful of the city's request for restitution, and if I'm going to fashion that, consider that request, I have to fashion the sentence accordingly. And above all, the capper of all cappers, your performance on the witness stand. This could only be described as pure perjury. You got on the witness stand. You didn't have to. You did. You certainly have a right to, but you committed hour upon hour upon hour of pure perjury. And I find all those to be ample factors. If this court were to decide that the things you did, that any kind of probationary sentence would deprecate the seriousness of the offense and you need to go to the penitentiary, the record is clear and it would support it. But I'm looking at everything in its totality. And I agree. It's told to me today, you can't judge everybody by one bad thing they've done in their life. I don't know if it's the only bad thing, but it's the only bad thing that I'm concerned about now. And that you do have quite a record of real community service and quite a record of attaching with people. There is a lot of mitigation in this case as well. And I'm mindful of the pleas of mercy, particularly from people that are in the arena of dealing with social justice issues, that are fighting, seriously fighting, not playing around, not doing games like you were doing, but seriously fighting for matters involving hate crimes of all sorts. And they're asking you for mercy as well. So I'm trying to consider who you are as a person, how you got here, how somehow you strayed away from your family values. You let that dark, narcissistic, selfish, and arrogant side come out, and you persisted with it for years on this case.
Hey, yo, Jussie want to say, hey, let me stop you right there, Your Honor. You can't call me dark. That's so wrong.
I'm fashioning the following sentence, and here's your sentence. I'm sentencing you to 30 months felony probation, and the probation is going to be to this court.
3 years probation.
You're going to be allowed to travel wherever you want. You do not have to live in the state of Illinois. You can report by phone. I know that if you're going to try to make a living and do some of the things you do, you may have to go to other places, New York and Los Angeles. You can do those things. You will pay restitution to the city of Chicago in the amount of $120,106. You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine. And you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail. And that will start today, right here, right now.
What is that, 5 months?
Mr. Smollet.
Wait,
But let's go to the courtroom right now.
Once your homes, your property, 6 counts were put together with the city's request for restitution. And if I'm going to fashion that, consider that request, I have to fashion the sentence accordingly. And above all, the capper of all cappers, your performance on the witness stand. This could only be described as pure perjury.
Oh, I saw this.
Quite a record of attaching with people. There is a lot of mitigation in this case as well, of all sorts. And they're asking you for mercy as well. So I'm trying to consider who you are as a Mr. Smollet. Though the jury found you guilty and I've sentenced you as I have, you have the right to appeal the findings and rulings of the court or ask your sentence to be modified. To do those things, you need to file a notice of appeal in writing within 30 days. You may also file a motion to modify your sentence, which would have to be filed in writing within 30 days. Anything not stated in those filings are waived for purposes of appeal. You cannot afford lawyers or transcripts. They would be provided free of charge. Do you have any questions?
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I would like to say.
Okay,
I am not suicidal.
okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect.
I'm going to play it. I just had it. What I've noticed from dealing with a lot of people saying lies and all this stuff and coming at me on the internet is that whenever you get detailed, they bring it back out to broad strokes. It is the details that they can't handle. So they want to pull it back and pull a fast one on you. What Black Americans have been through for over 400 years in this country. What gay Americans have been go through in this country. It has nothing at all to do on what you did. The details that you want to pull a fast one over, I'm quite sure you're ready to go off now. You made a noose more tight around your neck. The phone calls you did to plan this happened exactly when you said that they were going to happen. To the participants that you said this to, none of those details have anything at all to do with what Black people have been doing for 400 years in this country. You know what I think he is? You know what I think he thinks in his mind? And maybe this could just be the closest I can come to any kind of valid thing. Maybe I'm being a hypocrite when I say, like, if we imagine us there, we have empathy for the embarrassment we cause our parents, but we got to remember that the narcissists don't have that in them. Maybe I'm doing that right now. I think that Jussie thinks that he is like that movie. Y'all remember this movie? I forget the name of the movie, when someone was fighting against the death penalty and they wanted to prove the death penalty wrong. So I had this videotape of somebody killing this woman, and the guy was on death row. What happened at the end of this movie, the guy died on death row, but the guy was part of a hoax. In that video, the woman really killed herself, and this was all set up for this guy to purposely die on death row. And then you realize you killed an innocent man. And while I get where they were coming from, it was a hoax. He died for a hoax just to try to prove. So maybe Jussie is trying to say, like, okay, even though it was a hoax or whatever, I was still trying to show an example of what gay and black people go through in this country. Shut up. Shut up. Let me finish listening to this bull crap. I can't think of the movie.
I am not suicidal. That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
I'm not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that.
If anything, and I'm not going to even make a joke out of this, just what you did to your reputation is, honestly, if we were to be prudent adults, if anything happens to you in prison, I'm led to believe that you paid someone to do it to you. If anything happens to Jussie Smollet in prison, the first thing we should look at is that he got the inmates to do it to him.
I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not suicidal.
Okay. Mr. Uche, let me inquire, are there any post-sentencing motions you care to present right now?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Ms. Good.
The defense would wish to present a motion to reconsider sentence and file it in stanter.
It is timely filed.
Thank you, Judge.
And let me say, I've obviously considered the sentence at great length. And it's timely filed, so it's preserved for purposes of appeal. Motion to reconsider sentence is respectfully denied. And is there another, one second, Randy. Anything else? Just a second. Is there going to be a notice of appeal filed?
Yes, Judge. We filed a notice of appeal. We're going to be emailing it to the clerk right now, to the office.
You doing it in stanter? And are you going to be handling the appeal?
Judge, as of now, yes.
Well, you have to commit to
Yes,
handling the
Judge.
appeal.
Yes,
to the
yes,
appellate
we're
court.
filing a notice of appeal.
All right, notice of appeal may be filed. Charlotte, and now I need the prosecutors to work with Charlotte, the probation officer, to work out probation specifications with the conditions I just explained. 150 days in the county jail, restitution, fines. Oh, and also statutory DNA and costs are ordered as well. That's statutory. So you have to fill out the probation specifications. And I'm going to get somebody to help you do that. But we need to get that done in stanter. Anything else today? Yes.
Your Honor, if I may, in light of the notice of appeal, we would ask that you suspend the jail sentence in light of the
Do what?
instanter filing of the notice of appeal.
Did I do what?
Suspend the jail sentence in light of the notice of filing of appeal.
That will be respectfully denied. Yes, Mark. Mr. Lewis.
If it can be stayed in light of our notice of appeal.
No, I'm not staying. No. The wheels of justice turn slowly. And sometimes the hammer of justice has to fall, and it's falling right here, right now. I'm not staying this. This happens right here, right now. Charlotte?
I know you said this to Mr. Smollet,
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it. I'll give you yours.
okay.
Okay. All right. Any other matters to come before the court today? All right. Defendants remanded to the custody sheriff. Court is adjourned.
I am not suicidal.
Stop laughing about black.
I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
Well, Jussie Smollett has ended this drama he created with an exclamation point. But Judge James Lynn has the final word. He says sometimes the hammer of justice falls, and it fell hard today on Jussie Smollett. 30 months felony probation, 120 grand plus owed to the city of Chicago, 25 grand.
All right, so let's add up. They're always so dramatic too. Always so dramatic. Okay, so let's add up everything that happened to him. Restitution 120K, 25,000 maximum. So it's about $146,000. 3 years, almost 3 years probation. That's nothing at all. Unless you make him like do community work and stuff with it. Like I thought it was great to see Chris Brown after he jumped and beat up Rihanna on the side of the road picking up trash. Then the 5 months. Starting now, right? April, May, June, July, August. He'll be coming right when schools start again for the kids and everything. He'll be coming out. And he's not really going to have to pay a fine because he's probably going to come out and he's going to charge for interviews. And with him being this dramatic, he's going to get a lot of views and everything from his interviews and stuff. To me, the biggest thing that he did, besides being, like he said, like his name is a verb now. It's not just really with the family. The biggest thing he did to himself is I know like how hard it is for people to want to work with you in Hollywood. He is done. I can't even if I can foresee somebody wanting to do interviews and stuff. I can't foresee anybody wanting him in their movies and stuff. You know, I don't. But looking at people with the biggest heart, you turn to your own community, right? Like you turn to Black people. I don't see somebody like a Tyler Perry giving him a shot, or Spike Lee giving him a shot. You know, I think these people think what he did and they think that they're serious. So his best shot, he has blackballed himself. But again, I think with the kind of family that he has, you know, he's not poor or anything. He's not going to want for anything in life. So even after looking at everything that he did with tarnishing and destroying his own image, at the end of the day, the biggest harm he did was to other minorities, whatever race you are, that could go through hate crimes, and the LGBTQ community that could go through hate crimes. That's the biggest thing. And I'm glad that the judge, that society, that the United States, all of us, you know, they say these things, Black people can always take up for Black people. You see all these Black people hate his ass. You see, we coming out like, yo, we don't stand for this stuff right here. Everybody took a collective stand to show the importance of lying and hurting when this happens to real people. And I hope that we stay consistent across the board, not just hate crimes, but on anything, anything that can hurt other people. So that's what I end on this. Let me be honest, man. I had fun. Even with this being serious, I had a good time being on this channel talking about something serious. I would love to go live more often on here. I just want it to be about something. And this was good because this is crime, you know. So if there's any other court cases you want me to do, you want me to go live about, you want me to discuss, or or just sentencing. One sentencing I really did want to do, but I didn't have time for it. Let me know if you want me to do it. Was on the sentencing of the Ahmaud Arbery, especially with the judge. If you've been following my channel, you know the judge did something that I did on this channel. I can put them back. I can put them side by side and show you guys. So I would love to go leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you want me to go live about. Help your boy out. Finance, help support the channel because I go so in depth on documentaries. They will never be monetized. They'll never be. It's impossible for the kind of visuals and stuff that I put into it. So help support the channel so you can make it out there and do more documentaries, to go out to fly, to talk to other family members on a good cause instead of something that's drama filled and negativity. Would be greatly appreciated. Shout out to my people who came out, my mods for working the chat, and for the new people who subscribe to the channel. Thank you all. And as I always say, don't kill, make a sandwich. See you guys next time. I love being in shape.